Hello friends, I am B Arjun, lecturer in English. Today we shall talk about graphical communication. After watching this video, you will be able to define graphical communication. You will be aware of advantages and disadvantages of graphical communication. You will also be aware of its types. You will be able to plot various graphs, charts, and maps. Let us see the definition of graphic communication first. Graphic communication is defined as illustration of text, numerical data, etc. with the help of figures, tables, charts, graphs. The second definition is graphic communication can be defined in simplest terms as any form of communication that relies on visual cues to transmit a message to people. Is represented in pictorial form in graphic communication. Furthermore, it assumes a variety of forms to serve various communication purposes. Now, we shall see the important characteristics of graphic communication. Graphic communication is easily identifiable and memorable. It is often leaving a lasting impression on viewers that words alone are unable to compete with. It is the most powerful tools available to communicate. It is catchy and attractive. It has a unique ability to convey a message with a single image. It transcends language and attention barriers so as to be universally accessible. When we say that it transcends language barriers, it means that it goes beyond the language barrier. If we do not understand the language of each other, then we are not able to communicate with each other. But we'll be able to communicate with each other by using graphical communication. So that is why it is said like transcend language barriers. Graphic communication have certain advantages and we shall see them. The first one is graphic language is simple and direct. An illiterate and uneducated person can also understand graphic communication. It is very easy to remember it. It is attractive and it overcomes language barriers. Complicated and vague ideas can be simplified with the help of graphic communication. It summarizes a large data set in visual form in less space and time. It is very useful for giving presentations. It makes comparisons easy and effortless. It estimates key values at a glance. This is one of the very important aspect of graphic communication. Now, after this, we shall also consider some of its limitations. So, the disadvantages of graphic communication here. The first one is it is inappropriate for conveying wordy, extensive, and touching information. This is true. It is a one way communication. It is costly as photography, sketches, and colors are included. There is a probability of incorrect understanding because it is one way. Sometimes it is ambiguous. Ambiguous means it can give you more than one meaning, and the viewer may get confused with the pictures. It is not suitable for dialogues and discussions. It can be easily manipulated to give false impressions. It fails to reveal key assumptions, norms, causes, or patterns, underlying patterns. It, it may require additional verbal explanation many a times. Now, these are the modes of graphic communication. So, we shall see these modes one by one: graphs, maps, tables, pie charts, sign, symbols, signals, posters, surrounding. Surrounding include the layout and color. And now, graphs. A graph is a mathematical diagram that depicts the relationship between two or more sets of numerical data over a period of time. Basic data is mainly two-dimensional with a focus on raw data represented through lines, curves, etc. Graph contains a vertical axis, we call it y-axis, and a horizontal axis, so x-axis, and it displays data as rectangular bars with lengths proportional to the values that they represent. It is useful for marketing purposes. Line graphs represent trends. They are very suitable for that. Here are illustrations for you. The first one is of multilinear graph, and the second one is grouped bar graph. So we have many groups there. The next type is map. Map represents the Earth's surface on a piece of paper. It is useful in teaching geography. With the help of a map, we can show countries, rivers, mountains, oceans, seaways, roadways, railways, airways, creeks, etc. There are different types of maps. The most common types are political, physical, topographic, climate, economic, and thematic maps. The next type is charts. Chart is one of the important type of graphic communication. There are several types of charts. The most common are pie chart and flow chart. A chart is a representation of data sets with the intent of making the user understand the information in a better manner. Graphs are a good example of charts used for data visualization. There are two types of charts. One represents numerical data and another represents non-numerical data. Pie chart is the example of numerical data. It is in the form of a circle. It displays data in terms of relative percentage. It is very effective tool of comparison. So we compare data of various uh, things by using pie chart. Here are the examples of non-numerical charts: Venn diagram, flow chart, uh, Gantt chart, then organizational chart, pictographs, then infographics, graphics. Here is the illustration of pie chart for you. Now the tables. Tables are commonly used type of graphical communication. They are simple to create and they are commonly used tools for analysis and classification of data. They are useful for presenting complex statistical information at a glance. They facilitates analysis and comparison, as I had said earlier. Uh, One illustration is also given here, and I know all of us are familiar with tables. Now, posters. A poster has a great visual appeal. It is attractive and very interesting. It contains pictures and few words. So it's a combination of pictures and words. One more virtue of poster is that it is easily understood by literate and illiterate. Now let us see the signs and symbols. Signs are mainly used when sender and receiver do not share a common language. Signs were used even before the invention of language. Signs are very easy to understand. There are many types of signs and they are used very successfully worldwide. There are many criteria for their classification, and so we have a number of types of signs. To mention a few, I say indoor signs, outdoor signs, persuasive signs, informational signs. So there are so many types of signs. Symbols are mainly used in mathematics and drawing. The important thing about symbols is that they are accepted all over the world. For example, equal sign, minus or plus sign, etc. So here are some illustrations of signs. Here are the illustrations of symbols. The first one is the symbol of biohazard. The second one, you might have seen it many a times on food packages. It is the sign of vegetarian. The next type is signals. There is a basic difference between sign and signals. Signs are static. They don't show any movement. They don't show any continuity or streaming. but signals are moving. When we stand at a, a traffic signal, then it has got a movement. Sometimes it lights amber, sometimes it lights green, sometimes it lights red. So there is a movement in that uh, type of color language. So we call it a signal, traffic signal. Similarly, we might have seen uh, the Wi-Fi range that is being shown, that is being displayed on mobile. When it is full, then we see all the three or four circles, and when it is weaker, then we see less than three uh, circles there. Uh, So signals show continuous progress of something. Uh, they need continuous or periodic monitoring. Then only they are useful. So we have illustrations here. Now the colors. Man has been using colors to convey message since old days. Different colors are associated with different behavioral patterns, attitudes, and cultural backgrounds. We must make serious efforts to choose the right color for any significant occasion. Indifference to choice of colors is regarded as lack of cultivation. Therefore, we must meticulously use colors. Some colors are universally associated with mirth, happiness, cheerfulness, or pleasant circumstances. They are pink, yellow, red, purple, blue, green. We call them gay colors. Gay means happy colors. Black and grey are associated with negative feelings. They represent melancholy mood. White color is associated with peace, chastity, and purity. Uh, for successful communication, we must have the right choice of color, uh, especially of our clothing, home, and office. Here is the color wheel showing primary and secondary colors. Now let us see the layout and design. The space arrangement of an office, carpeting, or its absence, the furniture and its design, everything conveys a meaning. People make very impressive and tastefully furnished offices. They are very keen about the layout, colors, arrangements, and utility of various spaces such as a lobby or a dining hall, conference hall, a reception desk, and so on. Mostly the interiors are being done by the professionals. Every possible measure is taken to create an impressive ambience as it projects the image of the organization. That is the illustration of layout and design for you. It's a conference hall. So, friends, this is all about graphic communication from my side. Thank you. Happy learning.